Walking Upside DIY. So I need 2 tubes of silicone for the shoulder bag, but this is some of my exploring gear. So that I've been working on and trying to finish up. So I've got this helmet to kind of go with this a little bit. So I got most of the padding and things finished up in there. I've got another helmet coming up, and basically this might be a really good helmet. But it might be a little too late for me just because I already started using my GoPros, but that actually is a really good spot to put a GoPro right in the front. And then just some more exploring gear, socks, and I silicone these, so some more of these heat retainers, they will call it. Finished up gluing some of these heels. I have other pairs of boots. I just just basically repair any items that I can. I use epoxy at the very end just because I had it out. I didn't feel like mixing some more shoe glue and paint and stuff. So, and the epoxy doesn't leave like a really sticky situation with the glue. So, and then much backpacks. So this is basically just mainly exploring why I've been putting helmets and siliconing and weatherproofing and even repairing shoes, painting stuff. I'm going to use wood glue on these other shoes with the really sticky green glue that I have. I don't think it's going to harden or anything. I might even have to take off this tape and stuff to see if it's going to peel off or anything. But maybe I could just coat it probably with some epoxy. If it's going to just hold whatever's glue from coming undone, but it's really not that sticky stuff, or it's not really bonding as I would have really wanted it. The gluing stuff, I actually used some crazy glue. These, just working with the shoes that I have, checking the size of it kind of helps out. And the adhesives, I use some green glue and it stays tacky. It doesn't like harden up. I'm going to have to coat the green glue with probably some wood glue. Just whatever pieces I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Another pair over there. So there's like 1, 2, and like 3, 4, 5. This is the 5th one, the 6th one, and the 7th one right here. And with all those some of this stuff, probably get some more of that. But this one, and it starts to harden up and stuff. I actually used some of this stuff on, well, the first time with this boot. So this on one of the boots, it started to break apart a little bit. But mainly shoe glue, there is like a little spot right there that's breaking apart. So I need to re-glue this eventually. And I'm also making a liner for inside of this. It's really not that comfortable, but this is kind of like, so I glued 3 pairs of with shoe glue. Yes, on repairing some of these shoes, even though these might not be repaired that good if I start using them and walking in them and stuff like that. The green glue in there is going to start to come undone and stuff. So I got to test that stuff. But from what onto this, so here's a nice silicone items, and today and there's still some more glued items on the heels. Those, just seeing how things dry up. The shoe glue, it's not. So this stuff right here is pretty much touch up any of this padding while I can. Add some silicone to put, and I think the green glue, it kind of feels like what's on the back of just sticky pads or something like that. So I'm gonna have a small popsicle stick and add any extra. Well, I don't think I basically have the silicone hanger right there, so I'm gonna clip both of the socks onto that. I've got some of these pads. So silicone isn't. It does glue, but yeah, it's almost the same. But it dries up. At least I know it works. But then after it's finished, I'm not sure exactly like how effective, besides weatherproofing, it can be. But so these pads are a little bit. I've got to trim up this larger one to this size and use this for the helmet, a part of the helmet too. With some of the pads, so I kind of I trimmed up these pads so that they'll be more even. So there's the excess right there. So I gotta keep track of where I want to place these, and that's gonna miss the Velcro. I really didn't see right there, but it's got to kind of match up on this side, and then going from there I got to add one for the front. But I think, and then just having some of this gear ready and stuff, I could re-examine things and figure out what else I want to try to and then just start prepping up a lot of the other stuff that I'm trying to do. I leftovers of my epoxy. So let's try it with this. It's really not that much. I've got to use half on each, but it should be enough just for this. So just mixed up a little bit of some of the 5-minute epoxy, pretty much half of the rest of the stuff. So this is going to get stuck in there, and now this side is going to get glued in, and it should match up. I already trimmed up everything, making sure things are and stuff. So it's going to just basically be progress gluing this. So that 5-minute, the 5-minute. Okay, so it's on the foam pad. So basically next time, well, I'm gonna next time I start, well, here's pretty much, I could only, just because it was kind of, I didn't like have glue interfering or anything. That tube rolls around a little too much. Pretty much a good piece of wood, like the wooden, like a 4x4. But yeah, just trying to finish this one up, and I'll talk to you guys in a minute. So this is kind of what it looks like on one side, and then this other side I still have to do. It's really hard. So I guess I'll be right back. I gotta go hang this up. Alright, so I was done. I think I could finish. So this has been siliconed. There's actually really not a really bad, but there's a couple of really small gaps. I think it might be made a certain way, but some of it sticks, some of it doesn't. I think I'm going to put some silicone just because the glue green is just but definitely hole or rip, like right here or something like that, that the silicone actually did fix. But I'm gonna add a little bit more. I've got a small popsicle stick. Okay, so I got most of just any issue or problem areas. It wasn't all the way around, but just the main parts that could use adhesive and avoid breaking later on and things, or just wasn't fully glued. I didn't really check too much of underneath, so, you know, some spots, but seated and or glued and fully seated. And I'll keep these kind of onto the next thing, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Trying out for the backpack. I wanted to silicone this, but I think I'm gonna have to get 2 tubes at least, and then I got another backpack. So yeah, I mean, I didn't want to. I mean, only con on this, and finished up that little small piece on this helmet. Hopefully it works out. And then I got the shoelaces siliconed pretty nicely. I think I got a good amount on those, and then these socks, they're just hanging up to dry. So before I start gluing these last 3 pieces, let me show you guys what I do. Get all 3 pieces on one mix, I would say. So, alright, so just glued these in, these last 3. This piece might be coming off a little bit, so I gotta find, I'm probably gonna use some wood glue since I have some out, I think. So and also when I was mixing this, I mixed up a lot of it, so that basically I got the heel of one shoe just to test something like this. I might have to put hard epoxy or 5-minute epoxy on all these shoes. How's it going, YouTube? So I'm gonna try to put the border situation, or this piece of tape, peel this off, just the white part, and the glue that I'm using on this one is mostly the green glue. It's more soundproofing, it's for soundproofing, it says, but it's a little bit final touches, and I have 2 pairs of shoes like this, so I'm peeling this off, the tape off, and it's adding heel, but I could also probably try to use wood glue. Even though wood glue epoxy, I ran out of crazy glue. And here's the other pair of tennis shoes. So you kind of see there's still. So I'm gonna mix up like some space. Well, just how I'm planning it. So I've got a wood piece to try to prop up the shoe a little bit, so it stays balanced. And I actually used the same glue on this tennis shoe, and it's really not hardening up, so it's not bonding really good. But I'm gonna mix some white paint and some shoe goo, some of this stuff that I just got, so hopefully I can get in. So I got this paint starting to harden up, so I'm gonna put a little bit of paint thinner in here. So I'll put some paint thinner. So I just put a little bit of paint thinner just to move stuff around, I think. And now I'm just squeezing enough shoe goo. Just takes 2 hands. Okay, so it seems like it's 50-50, and I think I'm going to be able, well, I'm just going to start mixing this and applying it. Alright, so I'm just go ahead and use both hands to do this, and let's see how it goes. I'm just gonna avoiding the curve part, so just kind of like half of the popsicle stick, I think. So I gotta dab a little bit at a time all the way around, and then so it's pretty easy, I think. So now it's going to be, so I'm gonna be able to use the stick, I think, and just kind of smoothing out the outside exterior